by somebody giving me a business card, and with my, me having an open mind to see what I could do to do better. I went in and I sat down with a lady, and in 1999 I decided to open up my own company called Lago Financial Services. But all my years, as I continued to be in the financial service industry, I always had a question that it didn't seem that anybody could answer for me, which was how does the wealthy families in America continue to keep their wealth from one generation to the other? Because, coming from Nigeria and seeing all the families that are rich, and when they die, the wealth dies with them. And then coming here in America and looking at the same trend, you see not just the Africans, but a lot of the minority groups that have businesses doing well, but when they pass away, there's no wealth created or left behind for their
Instead, maybe
children.
perhaps there's even debt. Most of the time they pass away and people are raising funds. And I think Douglas made a very interesting point. You work with small businesses, Seun, and do you think that I feel like we're the only groups that don't leave wealth behind? Do you see other small businesses from other ethnic groups blossom, or
A lot of the other ethnic groups, we've talked about this a little bit, the Chinese, they tend to have this community, and then they tend to have a way of keeping their resources and making it available and useful to people within their community, which I think helps them to be able to transfer the wealth from one generation to the other. They kind of have a niche. They kind of have their people that they look after, and they look out for each other, really, instead of isolating themselves, which I think within maybe the African community, I'm not seeing that community as much as you would see. I'm sure you've noticed that as well.
And that's a very interesting point, because, Douglas, you said something which Seun's point just made me remember. You said you got somebody's business card and that's how you started. Right. And we don't see that happening anymore. We don't see people giving, especially in our community, people giving a lift to people who have just come. You were, a new immigrant at some point, and you were waiting tables and somebody gave you a start. But do you think that you were proactively looking for a start? And do you see this with our generation of African immigrants? Do you see us looking for a start? Or are we just content to just be here, have constant power, and that's it?
I think every African that comes abroad, not just Africans in general, but there's a lot, human beings basically, we all want to do better, and we have that drive and to do better. But the point when it comes to it is you find out that a lot of times people have been, ripped off or given the wrong information or the runaround. So after that kind of kills a person's spirit. And then it comes down to education, having the knowledge. Me waiting table at IHOP, but when somebody gave me a card, I felt special. I thought, okay, it's an opportunity. Let me go check out what she has, and because she said it was a job opportunity. And one thing that I've always done is I always have an open mind, and I'll go listen, and then I'll make a decision if it's something that I need to pursue further. So the first key to anyone being successful is you got to have an open mind first. And once you have an open mind, then you could get ideas in. But if you have a closed mind, you're never going to go anywhere.
But I want to take you up on that, because a lot of people have open minds. I've seen a lot of Africans with open minds here. Our minds are so open. We came all the way from, from all these countries. But people would say, I want to start this business. I think I have this talent, but I don't have the capital to do it. And nobody's going to give me anything. This is America, where everything is based on your credit history. How were you able to build your own business, and did you have a stash of money saved somewhere? And if somebody is listening to you right now and they think, how can I build this kind of wealth he's talking about, this generational wealth that he's talking about? What can they do?
Well, that's one of the reasons why I wrote my book, Creating Generational Wealth, what the super wealthy know that you need to know. When I first started, one of the things that I did, because one, I didn't have no money, I was broke, and I didn't want to get into any business that you're gonna ask me to pay money to join or get started in, because I'm already making no money. So the financial service was the answer. But then what I did that most financial advisors don't do is I took the time to understand the business and grow in the business. And then I started studying the wealthy families, because every information you need is already out here in the public, because you could study and find men. They might not be your friends, but they might have written some books. And that's what I started reading, their biographies, how they started. And then I started applying that to my life. So what I've done along the years, I used one tool that you never hear anyone talk about, which is life insurance. A lot of the wealthy families and even those banks use life insurance as a way to pass that wealth to the next generation.
Life insurance. Wow, I've never heard that.
Yeah, because most people think life insurance is just for death. But that's the only vehicle in America that you could build money in a very, very thin interest rate on it, and you could take money out of it, which is what I did in 2011 when I opened up a medical clinic for my wife. I was able to borrow money from my life insurance policy to open up a medical practice, and now the clinic pays me back at an interest rate that I charge the clinic.
Interesting. I want to take Seun up on that. Have you seen, because I know you're an accountant, you're a tax and financial expert, so have you seen people tap into that resource?
Yes, absolutely. And it makes a very excellent point from the standpoint of, acquiring knowledge in the skill set that you're trying to build yourself in and build your business in. It's very key. That's very important. And then lots of things that I've seen in my line is people setting up estates and trusts from the tax standpoint. And there are a lot of nuances to that, but there are situations where you can set up a trust, and the wealth that you're generating, and it's passing on to you. There are tax rules that allows you to be able to pass it on, and that there are maximum amount that are not taxable. There are nuances to it, and there's a lot of detail that goes into it. But there's a way that you can take that money, put it in a trust, remove it from everything else to the point where your children can benefit from it when you pass on. So
wow, honestly, after the break, I'm going to continue with you, and I want to talk about that, all those rules and how to, go about them. Because when you say this to an African immigrant that is just a regular African immigrant, they're thinking, I don't even have enough. I remember I spoke at an event in Miami last year, and I was hammering on building a savings culture. And this man came to me afterwards and said, the saving is only for people who have extra. And I said, do you work? He said, yes. I said, you have extra. He went on to argue with me that he didn't, and I proved to him that he did. Because eventually I asked him, do you need cable TV? That's perhaps money that you should be saving. Sometimes, as Africans, the tendency for us not to think outside the box might be some of our biggest issues. And Douglas, I want to ask you about, children and wealth. In our culture, we see wealthy people in Africa, not here, who are very rich. They die, they leave money behind for their kids, and the next generation is broke and poor. And here, we see something similar, but even far worse, where people have worked here for 40 years, they've raised a family here, and then they die, and their family does not even have money to bury them. So is there a disconnect? Is there something we should be doing for our children? Is there something we should be teaching our children? How soon should we talk to them about money?
That's interesting. One of the things that Seun actually said, which is also in my book, actually, is estate planning. And that's something that in Africa, especially Nigeria, I'll talk about our country, Nigeria. Most people don't have wills or trust set up. That's one way to transfer stuff and control. I tell my business owner clients, I say, listen, how would you like to control your assets or your business from the grave? And the only way you're able to do that is actually by setting up a trust to make sure that the trust owns everything they have and nothing's your social security number. And two, when it comes to our children, the best time to start speaking to kids about money is once they open up their mouth to say, Daddy, Mommy, buy me this, or you're in the store and they bring a toy in one hand and they have candy in the other hand. And they say, can I get both? That's when you need to explain to them that they can only get one. They need to pick which one. And then that conversation starts, but the family needs to start treating the family like a business. And what I mean by that, like businesses, big businesses as a business, you as a family, sure, the one person of the family is the president, the other person is the vice president, and the children are employees. Now, we also need to talk about how can we grow the family wealth. And that's where you start to succession plan for the family. And every family member should have a life insurance for, even on the children. A lot of folks think life insurance on children, which is the biggest lie ever. I have $1 million coverage on my daughters, my two daughters. But I didn't buy it because I'm looking for them to pass away tomorrow. I bought so that by the time one of my daughters reaches 22, she's going to have over $250,000 cash in there. But the money is actually for her children because I'm betting she's going to get 800. By the time she reaches 100, that person will worth over $100 million. Wow. That's going to go to the next generation tax-free because it's all owned by my trust.
Interesting stuff. You make a very good point. And, I've always had life insurance, but I've never thought about using it this way, borrowing money from it, investing in it, using it to start a business. And the only thing I'm thinking about as you're talking is that your book, Creating Generational Wealth, What the Super Wealthy Know That You Need to Know, is a must read. Not just for African immigrants, but for everybody else, because we need to understand how best to access capital, how best to pass it on to our children, and how best to, create this wealth so that African immigrants are just not on top when it comes to education, but on top also when it comes to, everything else. So, I want to thank you, Douglas, for taking the time. I know this was like, a super tight, busy schedule, but I hope you will come back and see us again. And I hope that we would, get more people asking us questions about this book and how to create wealth.
Thank you so much for having me. And, they could get it on Amazon.com, of course, or iTunes and download it to their computer.
Good.
But, it's all about passing on the information and helping folks do better.
Thank you so much
for having me.
Thank you. So please get it, Creating Generational Wealth, What the Super Wealthy Know That You Need to Know by Douglas A.C. Eze. And you're listening to Impact Africa. We will be right back after this short break.
For Impact Africa comes from Our Financial Coach, ranked among America's 11 best financial coaches on the web at ourfinancialcoach.com. United 4Kids Foundation, committed to healing the world one child at a time. On the web at united4kidsfoundation.org. Frad Consulting, planning and designing services where you are always in good company. On the web at fradconsulting.com. And from Outside in HR, pointing the great companies to the future of successful HR. On the web at outsideinhr.com. And from Wiser Advisory, Africa's leading financial advisory, training and outsourcing services firm. On the web at wiseradvisory.com. And from Nextier, the leading public sector advisory firm focused on agriculture, power, and petroleum. On the web at nextierlimited.com. And from Data Century Limited. And from Total Ascent, empowering individuals and organizations to achieve their educational and career goals. On the web at total-ascent.com. And from Brave Little Heroes, helping kids discover their inner awesome. On the web at bravelittleheroes.com. To support Impact Africa, please visit our website, impactafricaonline.com. You are listening to Impact Africa. To connect with the program, please call 1-443-499-2755. That's 1-443-499-2755. You may also send an email to info@impactafricaonline.com or tweet @UImpactAfrica. Now, back to our show.
There will be neither.
Welcome back to Impact Africa, and I still have a very important guest with me in the studio today, and that's Seun Awuwoloye. She's a CPA, and she is, a financial accounting, reporting, and tax preparation expert here in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Thank you so much, Seun, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, Douglas was saying before the break that, people need to go do their will, people need to talk to their estate planner and things like that. But there's something that I've noticed about us as people. This is like going to the doctor for preventive, medicine.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do it very well.
We don't like to do it very often.
And I know that you have small business clients.
Mm-hmm.
And do you typically see African immigrants that own businesses come to you for proactive planning?
It's very rare, and part of the things that we would like to look into today are those areas in which people make this type of the things that you really need to know, you should be looking at and considering. A lot of people, they think, especially from financial planning, tax planning point of view, you think that you should only worry about it when it's time. That's being reactive. But a lot of times, the mistakes I've seen people make, I'm like, geez, we could have avoided this if you had spoken to me earlier about it. So, those are areas where definitely planning is very key. Even when we want to go through any type of engagement, even the engagement rules, they'll tell you a bulk of your time you spend it in planning, and that helps you. That is really part of being proactive.
Being a CPA myself, I kind of feel the frustration that you're talking about. Because I so many of my clients that have had frauds are clients that I've told in advance that there's something wrong that we need to fix, and they just say, "Oh no, there's nothing wrong." Eventually, there's a fraud, and it's like, "I told you so," but nobody really listens. So, but if you were to sum it all up, and you were to give me maybe like 5 mistakes that you see African immigrant business owners make, because we do start businesses. Yep. If you look at, I don't want to make stereotypes here, but if you look at 7-Elevens, Dunkin' Donuts, gas stations, we pretty much know those who own it. And they own it, and their children eventually go to Harvard loan-free. Mm-hmm. But we also start businesses, but we don't own anything. Our children still have to go to school and get student loans. So what are they doing that we're not doing? What are some of the mistakes that you've seen?
Some of the mistakes that I've seen, first of all, is we have this, and I'm going to talk a lot more from a tax standpoint. We have this automatic fixation on reducing our tax liability. Now, where that is understandable, hey, I don't want to give my money to Uncle Sam, but you have to think about the fact that you have to think about your long-term goals. At the end of the day, I've had clients that, they've been fixed on this, I have to reduce my tax liability, and then suddenly they realize, especially small business owners, I want to buy a house. When you want to buy a house, the bank wants to see consecutive and continuous profit and income. At that point, you're looking at, geez, I need to be showing that I'm making money rather than showing that I'm not. Because
so it's not good to want to reduce your tax liability?
That's why I'm saying, first of all, you need to consider what are my goals. And if you sit with your CPA, that's what they'll be asking you first. What if you're starting, what is your goal? What do you want? Where do you see yourself? How do you want to grow your business? Is it, in this time frame, is it more advantageous for you? If you answer those questions and we see what you're looking for, we're like, okay, it looks like, saving money is more advantageous for you. So the goal is to try and reduce your tax liability. We plan according to that. Or, we need to be showing consecutive years of interest. If 3-4 years down the line, you intend to expand and you will be needing resources. So
interesting.
That's a major mistake that I see that people make. The other thing that I wanted to talk about from the standpoint of a lot of the times over the years, I've noticed immigrants, they want to get U.S. citizenship, the dual citizenship, because it's convenient. You can travel, you can come and go as you please. But what a lot of people don't know is the fact that when you do that, if you don't live or work in the United States, where you just travel for pleasure, or you come for holidays, you come to visit, and you go back, the United States they have access to your worldwide income, and they will tax you on everything.
You know, this thing that you just said, I need to take you up on this point, because I was having a discussion with a friend of mine who travels quite a bit about why, this time around I said, why Nigerians don't have money. Why is it that, you know, a church or a mosque wants to do some fundraising and it's the same people they go and make because everybody else doesn't have money. So he said, our problem is that we have immigrant mentality. And you just said that this is just what you just said.
I've worked with a client, and at the end of the day, I looked at him and I said, this whole time you didn't come to the United States, you worked outside of the United States, now you have to file your tax return and you have to pay this much. Do you really need the citizenship? And then your investments overseas, everything is taxable. Everything is, the United States wants to know, and they want the information, and they will, if you earn outside of, they will tax you on it. In fact, in 2012, by June, the IRS reported over $5 billion in something they call offshore voluntary disclosure program.
$5 billion.
$5 billion in back taxes, interest, and penalties.
Wow. And they don't play.
Offshore. And that tells you, if they're reporting that, that's statistics from 2012. It's something they're pursuing because they know it's...
And they know that this is how we do. You know, when I'm filling, even for non-profit organizations, when I'm filing the 990, and I get to that point where they say, do you have any interest abroad?
It's whether it's 990, whether it's 1120, whether it's a 1060, 1040, every individual businesses, they will ask you the same question, because it's that part of it. If they're generating that much revenue from it, you know that they know that people, it's a global village. People are investing everywhere. They're earning money in the United system. The Internal Revenue Code is written. It allows.
Well, some people lie on that thing.
Yeah, well, I would say, like I always say, everybody laughs when I say it, just don't break the 11th commandment, thou shalt not get caught. If you're going to do that.
And, you know, and I always tell this to people. You know, I'm a CPA, but I don't know too much about tax, so please don't ask me about your taxes. But I always tell people something. You're an immigrant, and you're black. You're probably going to get audited at some point in your life. So you better not be lying, because, you know, and you keep getting all this money back. At some point, you might be, you know, it's just a matter of when they get to you.
It's usually, it's not if, it's when. And there are certain triggers, and, you know, you don't want to, you know, find yourself in that situation without having...
It's true. You're right. Triggers like you go to Nigeria every 3 months, and then you say you have no offshore bank account. Seriously? No.
And the way the marketing and the commercial industry is now, where it's like a global village, it's not too hard for me to, if you own a business outside the country, you're going to have internet presence.
Yes.
All I have to do is Google your name. And there you are.
The IRS is hiring seriously. So they have people who are looking. I just got a notification on my phone. Somebody wants to connect with you. And, you know, I'll be happy to make that connection. So I got your text message. You sent me a message, and I will connect you with my guest. Because this is something that, you know, we as Africans need to be very aware of. We don't build the businesses, and then we get caught, and then we lose even the small money that we have.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'm sorry I stopped you, but you were going on about other mistakes that we make.
Oh, the other thing that I've seen is a lot of us, we wait until tax season before you talk about, you know, and throughout the course of the year, you're constantly making business decisions. And honestly, every business decision you make has a tax consequence. Everything that you're thinking about doing. I mean, I have clients that come to me at the end of the year and they've set up a new business. because they sit and the lawyer is looking to make money, or you have decided to, and I'm going to talk about this as well, you have decided, I don't need to spend that much money, I want to go into there, which is understandable, and then you go to LegalZoom. Before you go to LegalZoom, you should be talking to your CPA and saying, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to set up, what do you think, what are the tax consequences, what are we looking at? And then you get your CPA asking you all these other questions to try to see, how you can proactively position yourself in the right place where you are not like, by the time you come during tax season, it's too late.
You're 12 months too late.
It's already too late.
I hope the people, my students at EW, I hope you're watching and you're listening to this because I was just saying we're discussing break-even point on Thursday's class. I was teaching them about break-even points and calculating profitability, and I was telling them, I said, would you enter an airplane where the pilot doesn't know where they're going, doesn't know what altitude they're going to be flying, doesn't know, how long it's going to take? They said, of course not. I said, this is what I talk about in my book, What Color Is Your Money? The truth is, when you start a business and you don't know what your destination is, you don't have a plan.
You need to. It's important. You need to have a plan.
You're like that pilot who is flying without a flight plan, and this is. It's honestly,
not going to end well.
It's not going to end well.
I don't want to be on that plane.
I know. I'm not going to be on the plane either. It's not going to end well, and you're very right. Yes. So, tell me what exactly? If I'm listening right now, I'm watching right now, and I have a business, I'm an immigrant. What is the most important thing you think I should do right now?
First and foremost, you have to set up that plan. You have to. I would strongly encourage you, sit down with your CPA, draw out a plan, look at tax consequences of things that you want to do. And you have to be in continuous conversation with your CPA, with your accountant, with your tax expert, whoever it is that you're using. Don't undermine the importance of your financial data. Because like I like to say, it's a company's report card. I've seen people, they basically run their business from a checking account. Okay, what else is there to business? I put money in, I spend a little bit of money, and then whatever I get at the end of the day, that's my profit. Well, that is like a business 101. The good basics.
It's so not
There's
your profit.
So much more that goes into that. How do you know if, I introduced a new line of operations? How do you know if this line of operations is making money? If this is my money eater? How do you know, am I supposed to be saving costs? Am I supposed to be growing my clientele base so I increase revenue? How am I maximizing what I have, what assets I have? Am I getting the right returns? Have I projected a return? Is that where I'm going? What I'm looking at, is that producing the results? And your financial data, reliable, accurate, and given to you in a timely manner will help you to make those decisions.
And it shouldn't be complicated, and honestly, this is a discussion that, for me, being a CPA, I could go on and on and talk about it. It's something that gets me really, really engrossed. But I want to, we're going to tweet out your information. You have a company called Bhase.
Yes. And
Bhase is, even if you're not in the DMV area, you need to connect with Seun at bhase-online.com. That's Seun, SEUN, at Bhase, which is BHASE-online.com. We'll tweet this so you can go to Impact Africa and see, Seun's contact, and we'll also tweet Douglas' book as well. So, thank you so much. This is really critical. There's so many things that I've got from this today, which is, first of all, invest in ourselves, plan and be very proactive, not reactive, and also talk to our kids about money. And, our kids, these are especially for us who are here, these are the future of the African continent in the diaspora. And, with that, I really want to send some love to my nephews, my nieces, and to say we're investing in you. And, we hope that you will grow up to be wealthy and successful African immigrants. Thank you, Seun, so much. I hope you stick around for Africa 101.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to try.
Yes. So we are Happy Father's Day out there. The best thing you can do is to make sure that you raise good kids. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers to be, and everybody who wants to be a father. Happy Father's Day. Happy birthday to my uncle, Professor Badamasi. So we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with Africa 101. Don't go away.
Support for Impact Africa comes from Our Financial Coach, ranked among America's 11 best financial coaches on the web at ourfinancialcoach.com. United for Kids Foundation, committed to healing the world one child at a time. on the web at unitedforkidsfoundation.org. Frad Consulting, planning and designing services where you are always in good company, on the web at fradconsulting.com. And from Outside in HR, pointing the great companies to the future of successful HR, on the web at outsideinhr.com. And from Wiser Advisory, Africa's leading financial advisory, training and outsourcing services firm, on the web at wiseradvisory.com. And from Nextier, the leading public sector advisory firm focused on agriculture, power, and petroleum, on the web at nextierlimited.com. And from Data Century Limited. And from Total Ascent, empowering individuals and organizations to achieve their educational and career goals, on the web at total-ascent.com. And from Brave Little Heroes, helping kids discover their inner awesome, on the web at bravelittleheroes.com. To support Impact Africa, please visit our website, impactafricaonline.com. You are listening to Impact Africa. To connect with the program, please call 1-443-499-2755. That's 1-443-499-2755. You may also send an email to info@impactafricaonline.com or tweet at @UImpactAfrica. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to Impact Africa, and that was such a fantastic first segment. I didn't want to end it. It's, these are the opportunities that bring out the CPA in me. So Seun is back with us, and she's going to be contesting on the Africa 101 quiz that is sponsored by the Africa Memory Game. If you like any of the questions here, please go to the africamemorygame.com. And I also have Viola on the line as the second contestant. Viola, are you there?
Yes, I'm on here.
Okay, fantastic. So this is going to be really nice. This is going to test your knowledge of Africa. It doesn't matter when last you went home. Because she was just telling me she hasn't been home in a little while. But, the African Memory Game is here in the U.S. So, I'm hoping that you all...
Ooh.
And you can use the internet. You can cheat. Trust me, you can cheat. You can get your army on Twitter. Get them on Twitter right now. If you get a question and you don't know the answer, your army on Twitter can tweet the right answer for you. Hashtag Impact Africa or hashtag Africa 101. So this is the rule. You have 30 seconds to answer each question. And I'm going to go to Seun first. And so you can choose any question between 1 and 12.
With 3.
Question 3. So Seun, and you have 30 seconds. Ibuku is going to be timing you. So tell us, what was Ethiopia's former name? The country Ethiopia, what was its former name? 30 seconds. Ibuku, is she on the clock? And get your husband, your brother, everybody.
Whew. Man, you're putting me on the spot.
And she didn't even prepare. How many seconds do we have left?
I don't know. This is not
4,
giving me
3,
2,
2,
1. I'm not sure.
So, well, Viola, you have a chance to get your point here. What question do you want? Did we lose her? Uh-oh, we did.
Oh, no.
This is not good. We're going to try and get her back. And Ethiopia is coming in. While we're trying to get Viola back, we will...
I thought Google had all the answers.
Google has all the answers. And if you know the answer at home, you can tweet the answer in Seun's favor. You can tweet with hashtag Impact Africa.
I'm unavailable to pick up your phone.
We can't get Viola. I hope, we hope we'll get her back. And Seun, you can get another question.
Okay, well, yeah, is it in the order of difficulty? All right, let's go with question 10. I'm just kidding.
Question 10. Question 10. And if we don't get her back, that means that you'll be the winner, whatever you get. So, which of the following cities is the largest in Africa?
Okay.
Lagos or Cairo?
I'm going to go with Lagos just because I lived there. And I'm looking at your face now. Maybe I should change my answer to Cairo. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, since you gave the answer that wasn't correct, you know, it has to be 0 point to you now. Okay, well, you know, like I said, if you like the questions that you hear, and the goal of this segment is to get us engaged with Africa, to get us talking about Africa. You know, many of these questions I had no idea until I got them from the Africa Memory Game. So, you know, I have some advantage here. So, what question do you want next?
6.
Question number 6. Okay, get Google ready because this one is
a doozy.
Yes. Get Google ready, and let's see whether we can save you and get Viola back on the clock, because maybe she might take the question 6. Wow. Viola, are you there? Okay, we'll try and keep trying to reach her. And while we're doing that, we will, you know, go to question 6 for Seun. So Seun, which of Africa's Great Lakes is its largest lake by area and also the largest tropical lake in the world? This is one of Africa's Great Lakes, and it's, you know, it's the largest by area in Africa and also the largest tropical lake in the world. So, and I think we have Viola back now. Viola, are you back? Viola?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, fantastic. So we're going to give Seun is answering a question right now, and then you have three questions to catch up.
Okay.
So get ready. And so far she hasn't got any questions, so you have a chance to win.
Yeah, awesome.
This is Google's voice. Fault if I don't get this right. Lake Victoria is coming
Lake
up.
Victoria is correct.
What? That's it. I'm saying that. If I get one right, that's good.
So she's got a point. So Viola, you have 3 questions. So you can choose between 1 and 12. What question do you want?
On 6.
Question
Lucky
6.
6.
She already took that one and it was a hard one. So.
Oh, wow.
So do you want another one?
Oh, no, go ahead. Oh, somebody chose this already?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, 7.
7, okay. And remember, you can line up your army on Twitter, and they can tweet with hashtag Impact Africa or hashtag Africa 101. What is the name of the first president of Tanzania who served from the country's founding in 1961 until his retirement in 1985? 30 seconds. Who was the first president of Tanzania?
Connected. I don't know why.
Any guesses? Just guess the president of Tanzania. Any, you know, if the guy served from 1961 to 1985, he's the only president of Tanzania we know.
Are you kidding me? I don't know who the first president is.
And how many seconds does she have left? Time is up. Okay, so, well,
Julia,
you have 0 points right now. And okay, so you have a chance to get another question. You have a chance to get another question. What question do you want? Is Viola there? Oh, uh-oh. Viola? We still have her on the phone, but the connection. Okay, well, Seun, what question do you want?
Well, since I have question 7 up and I'm looking at it, why don't you read that back to me again so I can answer it?
No, it doesn't work.
Okay. Well, then let's go to the last question.
Question 12.
Mm-hmm.
Question 12. Wow. You know, I was hoping that Viola would get this question because I know she's originally from Ghana. But you get the, lucky chance, and I already gave you the answer somehow. There's a country that in the 8th century used to be part of the Ghana Empire. That country is in West Africa, and the country starts with the letter S.
Senegal.
Senegal. Wow. I thought you were going to say Sierra Leone. Senegal. Wow. Nice. Good point. When I actually saw the question came in form of a multiple question, multiple choice question.
And Sierra Leone and Senegal were both
yes,
there.
and then there was also Mali Empire. So I said, how can Ghana is such a small country, why would they have, Senegal as part of their empire? So I thought the question was wrong. I thought the African memory game was wrong. So I was trying to, write lady and say, no, I think you got this wrong. And then I went to Google the answer to all questions, and it happened to be correct. It happened to be part of the Ghana Empire in the 8th century.
Oh, wow.
That is...
That was a lucky guess, I said. I know Senegal is right next to Ghana, so of course it's the... But, if I had seen it in multiple choice, I would have stopped, especially if Sierra Leone is on there. And
yes.
I'm like, okay, which one is it? But
I honestly, I would have thought... And because Senegal is a French-speaking country, I would have thought, no relation to Ghana. But the interesting stuff, is Viola on the air? I think, the reception is kind of bad. So we're going to continue with Seun because we're almost running out of time. So Seun, you have 2 more questions. And the good thing is that if you win today and we don't get Viola on the phone, you're the winner.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you come back for the final round.
Oh!
But the good thing is that you get a chance to go buy the African Memory Game online at theafricanmemorygame.com, study all the questions, play the quiz with your kids and your friends, and then you come back a champion.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea. So what question do you want?
Let's see. Let's go 9.
Question 9.
Yes.
Question 9.
Yes.
The smallest country in Africa with only 455 square kilometers of area is which country? And if you want to help Seun with the answer to this question, please go to, you can send your tweets to at Impact Africa, or just tweet with hashtag Africa101. And if you like these questions and you think we should know more about our continent, please buy the African Memory Game at theafricanmemorygame.com.
It has this, I can't pronounce this one. Seychelles.
Seashells, yeah.
Is it seashells?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're correct. And honestly, that was a surprise to me as well, because I had no idea that there was a country that small. 455 kilometers. What? How is that even a country?
This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
And, by the way, I got an hint that Algeria is also the largest country in Africa. So
yes, and that was on the question. That was one of our questions last week.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you're doing very well. And, we have time for just one more question. And so give me your final question.
Oh, let's go in the ones. Let's see. Did we do number 1 yet?
No.
Let's just do number 1.
Oh, okay. I see you on a roll right now.
Oh,
now she's not playing.
I'm cheating all the way. I wish I'd answered one except for the Senegal one, which was a lucky guess. That was the only one I answered off the top of my head.
Oh my God, you're not doing badly at all. So number 1, which African country besides Liberia was never colonized? Which African country besides Liberia was never colonized? And again, this is courtesy of a very, very, very important organization that I like, the African Memory Game. They are putting this out there, not just for kids, but also for adults. So please support them at theafricanmemorygame.com.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Wow. I wish we had a round of applause in the studio.
Thank
but
you,
I'll give
Google. I'm going to give Google a round of applause.
Please. That is correct. And so Seun is the lucky winner for today with 4 points out of 6. You did very well. Last week we had somebody got, I think, 1 point, and that was it.
Ooh.
So, this is very good. We're going to take a very short break right now. When we come back, we're going to wrap up with the Opportunities section. Please don't go away. This is Impact Africa.
Support for Impact Africa comes from Our Financial Coach, ranked among America's 11 best financial coaches on the web at ourfinancialcoach.com. United for Kids Foundation, committed to healing the world one child at a time. On the web at unitedforkidsfoundation.org. Frad Consulting, planning and designing services where you are always in good company. On the web at fradconsulting.com. And from Outside in HR, pointing the great companies to the future of successful HR. On the web at outsideinhr.com. And from Wiser Advisory, Africa's leading financial advisory, training, and outsourcing services firm. On the web at wiseradvisory.com. And from Nextier, the leading public sector advisory firm focused on agriculture, power, and petroleum. On the web at nextierlimited.com. And from Data Century Limited. And from Total Ascent, empowering individuals and organizations to achieve their educational and career goals. On the web at total-ascent.com. And from Brave Little Heroes, helping kids discover their inner awesome. On the web at bravelittleheroes.com. To support Impact Africa, please visit our website, impactafricaonline.com. You are listening to Impact Africa. To connect with the program, please call 1-443-499-2755. That's 1-443-499-2755. You may also send an email to info@impactafricaonline.com or tweet @UImpactAfrica. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to Impact Africa, and I had a blast with those questions, and we will tweet those questions, out this week as well. So please follow us at Impact Africa, and try and, we'll tweet even the questions that we didn't get the chance to ask Viola, and see, how many of them without even consulting Google. Because, how really can we engage this continent of Africa? We keep talking about going back home, African diaspora, Africa this, Africa that. And we never really know how to engage Africa. How can we engage the continent if we don't know the continent? Mm-hmm. That is, that it's such a shame that even I don't know all these questions until I get the answers from the Africa Memory Game. So thank you so much to the Africa Memory Game, and I hope you support their business as well. So this segment is just, another opportunity for Africans, particularly those in the diaspora, to find out what is going on and how we can grow as a people, how we can grow our continent, and how we can give back. And if we can get the continent moving, whether we are abroad or at home, I think it's going to be good for everybody. So there's this new segment called the Opportunity segment that is sponsored by AfricanDevJobs.com. So go to their website, AfricanDevJobs.com, and this week they're asking us to tell you about a very important event that is coming up on Saturday, June 21st. And it's the first annual U.S. Africa Diaspora Business Forum. It's going to be hosted by the U.S. Africa Diaspora Business Council. And it's on Saturday, June 21st from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Tacoma Park Community Center, the auditorium. And that's at 7500 Maple Avenue, Tacoma Park, Maryland. And you're going to do so much. I'm going to be there. Impact Africa is going to be there. If you want to know about microfinancing, how to develop business plans, how to get government jobs, government contracts, small business loans and grants, marketing, and of course the Blessed Coffee business model. I intend to talk about the Blessed Coffee on this show. I intend to bring the genius behind this Blessed Coffee, so I don't want to give too much away, but you can get a preview when you come to the first annual U.S. Africa Diaspora Business Forum. And there's going to be a dialogue between the Africa diaspora and the state, federal, and county economic development agencies. There's going to be a lot of networking opportunities. There's going to be, you're going to meet, so many Africans. The problem with us Africans is that we never work together. We don't know, Africans talk to more non-Africans than the Africans that can help them. So if you want to do this and you're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, really anywhere on the East Coast, please try to join the U.S. Africa Diaspora Business Council at the forum on Saturday, June 21st from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Tacoma Park Community Center at the auditorium, 7500 Maple Avenue, Tacoma Park, Maryland, 20912. You're going to have a good time. And, on 22nd, when we have this show, I intend to bring a recap, but don't wait for me to recap. You come there. Seun, are you going to be there?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, you should work on it, because I think, we should go there and not to support, but to grow our businesses as well. And, it's been a very wonderful show. I've really enjoyed my time here. And I was just telling Seun during the break that she must come back to the show. I love the energy. I really enjoyed having you here. And, I hope that we can do this again and again and again. And, please continue to support Africa, continue to impact Africa, and stay in touch with us, impactafricaonline.com, Twitter at @UImpactAfrica, same thing with Facebook, UImpactAfrica. And I want to thank my team, Ibukunjayola, who is hiding behind the scene. I want to thank Listen Vision Studios for allowing us the opportunity to be here and for you to see us live. I want to thank Ngoma Mugali. I want to thank Adeo Kupe and Teniola Tayo and everybody who would listen and watch afterwards. If you're African or a friend of Africa, please keep on inspiring yourselves and building a community of Africans that would motivate one another to get a bigger continent going. So until next week, I'm Tope Fajingbesi. Have a very pleasant week.
Thank you for tuning in to Impact Africa. Please join us again next Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. GMT at listenvisionlive.com. Have a good week and keep impacting Africa.
The instamatic focal point bringing damage to your burrow. Be some brothers from the east with them beats that be thorough. Got the solar gravitation, so I'm bound to pull it. I gets down like brothers are found, ducking from bullets. Gun control means using both hands in my land. When it's all about the cautious living, migrating to a higher form of consequence. Compliments are struggling that shouldn't be notable, man. Every word I say should be a hip-hop quote.
I'm sick of bitches shaking asses. I'm sick of talking about blunts. Sick of Versace glasses. Sick of slang. Sick of half-ass award shows. Sick of name brand clothes. Sick of R&B bitches over bullshit tracks. Cocaine and cracks, which brings sickness to black. Sick of swole head rappers with they sickening raps. Clappers and gaps, making the whole sick world collapse. The facts are getting sicker, even sicker perhaps. Stick a push to make a bundle to escape the snap.
Man, life can get all up in your ass, baby. You better work it out. Now let me tell you what it's all about. A skin not considered equal. A meteor has more right than my people who be wasting time screaming who they hated. That's why the native tongues has officially been reinstated. Yeah. Stakes is high. You know them stakes is high. When we talking about love, man, yo, stakes is high. Yo, it's about love of cars, love of funds, loving to love mad sex, loving to love guns, love for opposite, love for fame and wealth, love for the fact of no longer loving yourself, kid. We living in them days of the man-made ways where every aspect is vivid. These brothers no longer talk shit, yo. These niggas live it. About to give it to you 24/7 on the microphone. Plus one translating the zone. No offense to a player, but yo, I don't play. And if you take offense, fuck it, got to be that way. JD Dub, show your love. What you got to say?
I say jeans and making cake is at a high regard. And niggas dying for it nowadays ain't odd. Investing in fantasies and not God. Welcome to reality, see times is hard. People try to snatch the credit but can't claim the card. Showing out in videos saying they co-starred. See shit like that'll make your mama cry. Better watch the way you spend it cause the stakes is high.
You know them stakes is high when you're dealing with the stakes is high. Man, these stakes is high.
Check him. I think that smiling in public is against the law. Cause love don't get you through life.